Living legend.
Viewers, you are all welcome to Living Legends in memory of the divine drama that Ghana has ever produced, Kofi Ghanaba.
Ghanaba is a musician. The unique thing about Ghanaba is that he's the first son of a bitch to play from drums with his hands and his feet in Ghanaian music history, you know. So that somebody says about my playing, says he plays with more hands and feet than ordinary mortals are endowed with. Dr. Kujo. He says Warren plays with more hands and feet than ordinary mortals are endowed with. Yeah. I'm the octopus. When I play drums, I become like an octopus.
Briefly, how would you like to describe Kofi Ghanaba, who has been so close to you and a childhood friend?
But Kofi was my very good friend in our infancy. But as we grew up, I attended Accra Academy. He went to Achimota for training as a teacher. But halfway he left and joined the late A.J. Okansi's press, City Press. He left and went to Liberia as a disc jockey. His father, the late illustrious Richard Akwe, had him repatriated. But because he was adventurous, he went back to Liberia. And from there he went to America. And started his young interest in music. He was a drummer at school, a very good drummer. And he joined Tempos, the first Tempos. It's there that his liking for music blossomed. At Achimota, when he was there, he could entertain the whole school on Friday evenings. And you would think, because of his antics, that he wasn't interested in education. But he was an intelligent chap, very, very intelligent, and very smart.
Billy Eckstein, an Afro-American singer, trumpeter and musician, band leader. In my youth, we were look-alikes. And this article said that Billy Eckstein used to entertain at Howard University, I think it was. And he would sing and people would go gaga over him and all that. And so he came to believe that his voice was his fortune, and that's what he should do, sing. So he left college, didn't finish it, and went to the music field, and he became famous and great. one of the greatest Afro-American musicians of my lifetime, or of the millennium. Now, when I was at Achimota, we would have entertainment nights, and I would tap dance and sing and play drums and carry on and turn the whole college upside down, masters and students alike. Well done, hey, hoo, ha, hey, ha, guy, hey, guy, hey, guy, hey, guy. So I also thought like Billy Eckstine, why waste my time in this goddamn school? I'm going to quit and go play my drums like Billy Eckstine quit to go and sing. And that's the truth. So I left college before I could finish with it. And I was bored stiff with the college regimen. It was like an army camp. And I can only take that for as long as I could take it. Then I got out.
Ago Ghana! Afro TV presents Living Legend.
Konimo, this is an order, it is not a request. I can speak so many languages, so my patients feel comfortable with me.
Ghanaba is a combination of many.
My funeral delegates of the Akan people, it was my first book.
I went to London to help to turn our Gold Coast office, then it was, into a high commission.
I got this sucker, not from Ghana, but from Philadelphia.
People call me all sorts of names as a result of my sporting life.
I was a little adventurous.
So on Monday when I saw the papers, I decided to quit football for good.
Living Legends was brought to you by Afro TV.
Ghanaba is a combination of many things.
Talking about your dad, Kofi Ghanaba, memories back, how would you describe him?
Well, when I grew up from school, my father was not here, he was in the States. I went to Jamestown Government Boys School. And when my father came back, I realized that I had a father who was a big-time musician. I didn't even realize it. So he got me into music, and he taught me how to play the drums. And I was rehearsing with him. We played with police band and other groups, Uru dance band. We were moving around. I was supporting him. And I was nicknamed the Little Thunder. So basically, me and my father, on the music level, we've been very good partners. I love him 100% for his music. He has done a lot of things for the world of music. Not only for Ghana, not only for Africa, for the world.
I am more than a musician, and that makes me different.
But musically, I love my father, and has inspired me to love music. And I believe that I can continue. And if the chance is given properly, I can do my best. Maybe not to be like my father, but be almost like him, musically. So this is the way I remember my father. On musical level, political, journalism, it was very good. Constructive criticisms of everything. Whether you are part of him or you are against him, he tells his mind, and that's about it. You see? So I think we've lost a great guy for the whole world, not only Ghana.
The pictures on this wall are pictures which trace my evolution in life, right? And the first picture there, titled Psalm 86, is a pictorial version of my favorite psalm in the Bible, Psalm 86. I took that at a place we call Hijomohi down in the garden, down in the yard there where I relax. Whenever I see this picture, it looks like I'm wondering what life is all about.
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Briefly, how did you meet Ghanaba?
Okay, I have to take this back to 1969 when I was playing in a band with some Achimota schoolboys, a pop chain band, and Glenn Warren was among. So I used to go to Guy's house, or Ghanaba's house in Tesano to meet Glenn, and we used to rehearse there, and I wasn't allowed to meet the father at that time. So there was this mysterious man who was Glenn's father, and he was always behind closed doors, and there was a strong smell of scent or incense coming from the door, and Glenn told me that was his father was a recluse, he was a mystic, so I never met him that time. And then in 1973, I was writing a book with E.T. Mensah, so we went to see Guy Warren. By that time, Guy had moved from Tesano because of the noise to Achimota, which was still fairly peaceful in those days, because he didn't like noise. So we went to the house and I wanted to interview Guy because he was the drummer with the original tempos. In fact, at one time, I think he actually led the tempos for a year, he and Joe Kelly, before handing over to E.T. Mensah. And also I wanted to get the story of the tempos right because a lot of people believe the band was formed by E.T. Mensah, and it was actually formed by Adolf Doku and a white guy during the war, and then it became Ghanaianized. Anyway, I don't want to go into the history of the tempos, but Guy was the first drummer, and he introduced the Afro-Cuban drums to the tempos. So when E.T. and I got to the house in Tesano, we were sacked. And a few weeks later, I got a call from E.T. saying, oh, Guy was so apologetic that he didn't recognize E.T. Mensah. He saw some white guy, didn't want to speak to anybody.
Picture to the right of this poster is my favorite picture of my whole career, my life. It was taken by my daughter, Hosanna Maoko Ghanaba. The reason why I like this picture is because it shows like I'm walking out of my life. I've come to the end of my life and I'm walking out of it. That's how I feel about that picture. It's as if to say, well, I've done my little bit, now goodbye. That kind of a thing.
You are still watching the special edition of Living Legends in memory of the divine drummer Kofi Ghanaba. Briefly, how would you describe him?
Kofi Ghanaba is really a divine drummer. I met him personally at the National Theatre, presenting the African type of Handel Messiah. And boy, you must be there to see this part. He made me cry because I've heard, I'm a classic admirer, and I heard Handel Messiah in different tune, but the one this man presented was just too much. I think that day the angels dropped. The man was playing the from drum with his hand, his head, and his legs and everything, and it was just beautiful. The man is really a legend.
Ago Ghana! Afro TV presents Living Legend.
Konimo, this is an order, it is not a request. I can speak so many languages, so my patients feel comfortable with me.
Ghanaba is a combination of many.
So on Monday when I saw the papers, I decided to quit football for good.
Living Legends was brought to you by Afro TV.
picture is titled Free South Africa. It was taken during the time when I was performing a suite dedicated to Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, Oliver Tambo, the great leaders of the South African Revolution. And the title of the suite, the drum suite, was Free South Africa. And it shows you Ghanaba playing the African phantom from drums single-handedly. Now this is a gift. I like to tell people about this. It's a gift. Ordinarily, the phantom from will be played by one man or maybe two different drums, two drummers. One drum, one drummer. The atumpani drums will be played by another man, and the pentama drum in the center will be played by another man. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And if there's an extra phantom from around, that makes it 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a total of 7 drums played by one man. It's never been done before in Ghanaian history. And it's a gift. Psalm 150 says, play your drums, play your cymbals, play your gongs, play everything, play every goddamn thing to praise your God. That's Psalm 150. And musically, when I play everything within my reach, and it's a spiritual thing as always.
I think so far what I can remember about Ghanaba greatly is his enthusiasm. He is a great drummer. He drums, and even his teacher allows him to play on the drums. And one day he came to Pom. We all hailed him. And as I'm telling now, I miss him. I wish I can have this interaction with him now and then. But I miss him.
This is my most prized certificate. It was given to me by ASCAP, the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. It's the elitist music business or corporation or syndicate, whatever you want to say, in the world. And when I came out with my first album, Africa Speaks, America Answers, in Chicago in 1956, the music was submitted to the ASCAP election board, or not election board, but to ASCAP board, to ASCAP, and for the music to be examined, because I wanted to be a member of this ASCAP. And there was a meeting held, it was valued, and I was given the certificate. True humility, make us cherish fearless love. And help us! And help us to resist your precious with honor. God fight for us! Back, 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 back. Help us to resist your precious rule. In my career and lifetime, I have received many gifts from people. And here are the two gifts which I treasure most. This was given to me for my 77th birthday by Vice President Akka, the late Vice President Akka, and the Winneba Youth Choir. It was a bouquet of flowers with a yellow ribbon, my favorite color. And I framed it as you see it now because I treasure it. By and by I'll put it in a box. And I mean, the Winneba Youth Choir is my favorite choir. It's everybody's favorite. They sing like a group of sirens. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. For the Lord God omnipotent reigneth. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Afro TV presents Living Legend.
Konimo, this is an order, it is not a request. I can speak so many languages, so my patients feel comfortable with me.
Ghanaba is a combination of many.
So on Monday when I saw the papers, I decided to quit football for good.
Living Legends was brought to you by Afro TV.
And this is number 2. A citation from the Art Critics and Reviewers Association of Ghana, ACRAG. Arts Critics and Reviewers Association of Ghana. It's a Flag Star Award, supposed to be therefore the highest award which this society or group of musicians would confer on anybody. I treasure this. I have many certificates, but I treasure this because it was signed by my role model, Professor Kwabena Nketia. Professor Kwabena Nketia. The other day, I was telling somebody who asked me the question, if you were not Ghanaba, who would you like to be? And I said, Professor Kwabena Nketia. He's my role model, and he's a great Ghanaian. What attracts me to this is the fact that he's very self-effacing. He doesn't brag. He doesn't boast. He's very humble. And yet he knows so much. He knows the music inside and out. He can play it. He can lecture on it. He can write books on it. He's a musicologist, an ethnocologist, a culturalist. You go on and on and on. And
I knew Ghanaba very well as a creative artist myself, working in a different area. And as someone interested in collecting our own traditional music and studying, so we were on the same wavelength. And so we had moments when the two of us just met. He would arrange for me to visit him at home and so forth. And he was a quiet, serene person, very different from the turbulent person you see him on stage and so forth.
Well, the legacy I left was my music. Africa Speaks, America Answers, that album was my legacy. And that album has sold 1 million copies worldwide. And one of the tunes in that album, That Happy Feeling, titled That Happy Feeling, or Iyiwaladong, or My Thanks to God. Da-da-da-da, 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 da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-dee-da-da-da-da-da, boom-boom-cha, boom-bang. That tune was covered worldwide by a lot of musicians. They made albums and they used the tune here and there. And if you check my name on the internet, you'll see the evidence which supports what I'm saying. It's not mere bragging. That tune, My Thanks to God, has earned me more money than any other composition. It's become like a hymn. They play it in Germany like a hymn. I just got a royalty statement, and they've started playing it regularly in England. It's going to catch on and spread. So my legacy, not necessarily to America, but to the world, is my album, Africa Speaks, America Answers. When I was making that album, I had this thought in mind that if I made the album and stepped out of the studio into the street and got knocked down by a car, I would have done what I came into the world to do. So the album was very well spaced. All the numbers were played differently, and all the numbers were little gems by themselves. Africa Speaks, America Answers. That is my legacy to the world.
Your last words in memory of Kofi Ghanaba.
A big man has gone. My big friend has gone. And as I'm talking to you, I'm shaking. Because I didn't, though he grew up, he was an old man, but full of grace. He was full of everything, So I'm saddened. So all what I can say is my good friend, Ajimanjewu, Mahiseti FM. Rest in peace.
Folks, let his soul rest in perfect peace. And on that note, I would like to sign up today's edition of the program Living Legends in memory of the divine drummer. He is the only, and I repeat, the only divine drummer Ghana has ever produced.
Living Legends was brought to you by Afro TV.